Fabulous. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Master Your Mind, an incredible masterclass that you're about to go on an incredible journey with me. So, are you excited? Are you excited to be here? So, in this next 55 minutes, an hour or so, you're going to understand very clearly, okay, why and how it is that you are repeating the same patterns that that you've really actually outgrown. And you're going to learn exactly how to change them. Does this sound good? Give me a yes in the chat if this sounds good. Is this up your street? Is this why you are here? Is this what you want to get from this masterclass? Would you like to know how to change the patterns that you have outgrown? Now, as you know, I expect you to move your fingers. Okay, if you've been on a live masterclass with me, you know that moving your fingers, taking action instead of being passive, taking action tells your brain, your physiology dictates to your psychology and alerts your brain that something interesting, exciting is happening, and it's going to store this information more forefront for you. So even if you're watching this on the recording, what I want you to do is I want you to sit up. I want you to just imagine that I'm right here in the room with you and take it as if we're having a conversation over beautiful, good coffee. I like good coffee. I am Italian, half Irish, half Italian. And we're having the chats and we're having a wonderful conversation and you are in the zone. Okay. How would you interact with me? Would you sit there? Or would you sit there? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me more. And yes, I'm answering and responding. Are you a good conversationist? Right? Would you interact with me? Right? Yes, 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 yes. I love this. Okay. So by the end of this session, you will know why your willpower and you will know why willpower and mindset alone stops working at higher levels. You will see how your subconscious has been kind of driving your decisions, right? You're going to also experience in real time how quickly your state, your confidence, and everything can change. And you're going to understand the method that I use and the one that I teach all my mastermind students, how to create kind of a more lasting self-sovereignty, self-trust, a self-authority, and obviously ultimately results in your life. Okay, does this sound good? Right? So I want you to know that this isn't just theory. This is why I want you taking action, moving your body, being excited about this, because this is practical, this is experiential, and this is also immediately usable for you. Okay, I want this to land. I want you to know you don't need to take notes. In fact, I highly recommend that you don't. Okay, because when you're taking notes, you are actually behind. When you're taking notes, you are catching up. You're going, what did she just say? Let me write down what she said. And then you've missed what I've just said. And you're not with me. You're not with me right in the moment, in the present. And I'm always talking about the moment. The present is the only moment we've got. This is our gift, this present moment. And we can only change things in now, in the present. We can't change it in the past, and we can't change it in the future. We can only change it in the present. So I want you present with me. I am a hypnotist. Okay. So I don't want you catching up all the time. Nothing gets done in the catch up, it gets done in the now. So you don't need to take notes. You don't need to analyze. You just got to get into the feeling of this. You got to get into experiencing and feeling. Okay, does this sound good? I want you to notice what happens inside of you as we go through this process over the next 50 minutes or so. Because when you start to master your mind, everything else follows. Do you agree? Do you agree? Give me a yes in the chat if you agree with this. I'm going to move to slide 2. Move those fingers, guys. Okay. So, what I want to say to you is this. I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly. Mindset is key, right? You agree. Awesome. So, I want you to answer this honestly. Now, have you ever have you ever overthought a decision that you kind of already knew the answer to? Have you ever overthought a decision? Have you ever spent way too long thinking about doing something? Have you ever? Give me a yes. If you have, be honest. Come on. Let's see those yeses. Be honest. Come on, come on, come on. I'm going to pull you in. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. All the time. I love this. Yes, yes. 8 out of 10 times. Yes, yes, yes. All the time. I love that honesty. I appreciate it. Right. Have you ever delayed something important for no real logical reason? Have you ever delayed something really important? Have you ever left something on to the last minute, on the to the last, what's the word, the last finger? Have you ever left something to the last minute, delayed something that was really important? Yeah, I'm expecting more yeses. I'm expecting more yeses, right? Okay, have you ever? Yes, yes, yes. Have you ever pulled back just as things were starting to work? Have you ever pulled back just when things were starting to actually work? Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that? Right? Have you ever done that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It gets scary, right? Oh God. Yeah. It gets scary. I love that honesty. I really appreciate that honesty, right? Have you ever felt really confident 1 minute and then strangely kind of uncertain the next? Have you ever done that? Right? Have you ever one moment felt confident and the next minute felt really uncertain, really underconfident? I do question. Yes, yes, the inner voice. Oh my God, that inner voice, right? Okay, okay. Have you ever promised yourself that this year will be different? Hi. Have you ever promised yourself that this year will be different, but instead you've watched the same pattern repeat itself? Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that? 100%. 100%. Yeah, you've done that, right? So everyone's saying yes, and everyone does say yes. You're all saying yes. Why? So this is the confusing part of this. It's not that you or I or any of us are necessarily unintelligent. It's not that we're inexperienced. It's not even that you're unaware, mostly, right? It's not that you're incapable, right? I want you to sit with this. I want this to land. In fact, there's often, my God, isn't there? Who's experienced this? There's often, people that are less intelligent than you, less skillful, less talented, less charismatic, less able to communicate, and they're doing better than you. Have you ever witnessed that happening? Have you ever witnessed that happening? Have you ever got frustrated because you've seen that? Right? And you kind of go, I could do better than that. How come they're doing better than me? How come they're doing so good and they're terrible at this, or they're no good at this, or right? It's confidence. Yeah, yeah, yes, I have. Yeah, it's frustrating that, right? So actually, what actually happens is it's actually it's an unfortunate thing that the more intelligent, the more driven that you are, the more likely that this is happening. Okay? The more likely that this is happening. Do you know why? Because this is conditioning. This is conditioning. It's conditioning. And you're living from logic and intelligence and intellect. You're living from intellect like a computer. But a computer doesn't have feelings and emotions. And who was it that just said here? I think it's confidence. Confidence is a feeling, isn't it? Confidence is a feeling. It's not an intellect, is it? Right? And a computer isn't really confident, right? So, okay. So I want to share with you something. Move it to the next slide. It'll move. Oh no, that slide. Yes. So I want to share for those of you that don't know me. Give me a one who doesn't know me again. Who doesn't know me yet? I never saw confidence as a feeling. Exactly. It's a feeling. You feel confident. It's a feeling, right? It's not like, it's a feeling that we get, right? Now, confidence does come from doing something, but we're probably talking even more than confidence. We're probably more talking about self-worth. Self-worth is deeper than confidence. Confidence comes from something that you do over and over and over again, and you get good at it. Self-worth is something that comes from this inside work, right? So one more. Okay, one more. So for those of you that don't know me yet, right, I just want to share a little bit very quickly. I want to kind of ground this work in reality. In reality, I am not a coach that's set up after a 7-day course or somebody who set up during COVID. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, I'm teaching you also something that I learned through experience the hard way, right? In 2009, 16 years ago, I had been in business at that point for 17 years. I opened my first business when I was 19 years of age. I opened my first restaurant. I had a chain of 3 restaurants and a gift shop, and I had a little mini empire. And in 2009, 17 years later, I lost everything. I learned the hard way. In the crash of the Celtic Tiger, I lost everything. I lost my businesses. I lost my home, had to hand it back. I went bankrupt. I lost my car, had to give that back. Every penny in my bank account, and I mean every penny in my bank account, every. I had to go down to social welfare and sign on, and I had to go and ask for an advance because I couldn't wait for the weeks that it took for the paperwork to get done. Most of all, what I lost was my sense of who I was. Okay. On the outside, I had always been the strong one. I appeared to be the strong one. On the inside, I'd been living in survival for years and years and years, even though I had 3, 4 thriving businesses. But inside, I was pushing, I was controlling, and I was overriding myself to my real success. Right? So when the structure collapsed, when the mask came off, when my businesses in the crash of the Celtic Tiger just went, so did my illusion that willpower alone and drive alone to succeed can create safety. Because ultimately, nobody really wants money. I had this conversation recently with another group of mine where none of us really want money. We want money, but we want it because of what money gives us. Correct? Right? I mean, if we just want money, we can go and work in a bank and we can get money all day long if it's just the fact of looking at money. What do we want money for? We want money to give us safety, to give us a feeling. Am I right or am I right? To give us a feeling of security, of safety, of freedom, of choice, of love, of kindness, of giving back. We want to create a feeling. So I realized at that moment that the mask came off, that I could not create the feeling that I had been striving for, this feeling of safety, through willpower alone. And what then went on to rebuild my life, it wasn't motivation anymore. It wasn't drive. It was no longer drive. It was an understanding of how the mind, the body, my language, my communication, and my identity actually work together. Okay. And this understanding became my method. And I went on 4 years after I lost everything to have rebuilt a multi-6-figure business, to have bought a house outright with cash, to have started to love myself again. Or actually ever, because I never had, and to find real love, to have rekindled my relationship with my father that I hadn't had since I was 9 years of age. And all of this because of understanding that willpower and drive alone will not get you to where you want to go, to the material or the feeling. It's an understanding of the key principles in the right order that will get you there. And this became my method, and this is what I'm sharing with you tonight. Does this sound good? Do you want to know how I did it? Give me a yes if you want to know how I did this, right? So I'm going to move to this next slide. So this is the problem, right? Here's the thing. your mind isn't actually malfunctioning. It's not that there's anything wrong with your mind. Your mind is beautiful, perfect, wonderful. It's doing exactly what it was trained to do, even when you hesitate, even when you second guess yourself. Okay. When you even when you suddenly feel tired, when you're doubtful, when you're distracted, all of this, your subconscious is asking one question. What's the question it's asking? Who knows the question? For brownie points. Who knows the question? Extra brownie points for who knows the answer to this question. What is the one question that your subconscious is always, always asking? Come on, move those fingers. Fastest finger first. Who knows the answer to this? What is the one question that your subconscious is always asking? Mireia is in the house. Got it in one. Yes. Got it in one. Yes. Is it safe? Is it safe? Is it safe to be seen? Is it safe to succeed? Is it safe to earn more? Is it safe for me to make loads of money? Is it safe? Is it safe to lead myself? Is it safe to lead myself to change? Is it safe for me to change who I've been? Is it safe for me to show up in this different way in front of people that I love? Will they still love me? If the answer is, I'm not sure if it's safe, it's going to slow you down. Your subconscious is going to slow you down. It will create doubt. It will create doubt. It'll pull you back into what is familiar. Does this make sense? Is this landing? And it's not because you're weak or stupid or broken. This stuff, this work, self-development, as we might call it, isn't because people are broken. You know, it's funny. Every year I bring a group of people to Italy with me to a beautiful villa in Tuscany. I'm a hypnotist. I'm an NLP trainer, right? And my dad comes along, and I've rekindled my relationship with my dad after like over 30 years, right? There was a long time that we didn't talk. And he comes with me. I bring him with me to the villa so he can get a beautiful holiday for the 2 weeks that we're there and swim in the pool and have a wonderful time. And every time he asks the same question, he says to me, don't tell him I told you this. He says to me, he says, so what's wrong with this group? And I say, Dad, what do you mean? In Italian, of course, because I'm half Italian. And I say, Papa, che cosa stai dicendo? What do you mean? And he says, ma che c'hanno? Che c'hanno che è rotto? What's broken? What's wrong with them? And I think there's nothing wrong with them. Very dad question, isn't it? I think there's nothing wrong with them and there's nothing broken. He said, well, why are they here? What's their problem? I said, they don't have a problem. I mean, sometimes I over exaggerate. Sometimes there is a problem, but like it just kind of peeves me off that question a little bit because self development isn't about being broken. It isn't about being wrong. It's not about trying to be better. It's not about trying to fix yourself. It's about, and this is where when you get your head into this, this is how successful people make lots of money, how successful people have lots of love, how successful people have the life that they want. Is it's not about fixing something, it's about expanding something. It's about growth. It's about wanting more, not for material things, but for the sake of being alive. As corny as it is such a pertinent, relative metaphor. And I want to share it with you. Everything in life is growing. Everything that is living is growing, everything. So I don't care if you're 19 or 79. I had yesterday morning, on my birthday morning, of a beautiful man. He's 70 years of age. He's been working with me for the past 18 months. He came to my house yesterday morning to do a session with me. And his life is transformed. At 69, 18 years, 18, 68, 18 months ago, he decided, feck this, I'm going to start pursuing my passion to be an actor. And that is what he's been doing for the last 18 months. His confidence has skyrocketed. He's doing it. He's singing on camera. He's doing film. He's done ads. He's done loads of different extra parts and loads of different work. And he's showing himself. He has a TikTok, following all of this kind of stuff because he's pursuing his passion. And so it's not that there was anything broken. It's about living life to the full. The moment that we stop growing, the moment, guess what happens? We start dying. The moment. Now, I started to die at 36 years of age when I closed my businesses and I nearly gave up on life. And then I decided, you know what, heck this, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to get back up. I was a black belt physically, literally. I am a black belt. And I decided, a black belt is simply a white belt who never gave up. And I decided I'm going to get back up. And this time I'm going to become the black belt of my mind. And this is what my whole method is about. I did this from experience, not from a book. I have, obviously, I did go on to learn and study and train with the best in the world, right? And that's why I'm a hypnotist, a coach. I've written 4 books. I'm writing a script for a film at the moment. I'm one of Richard Bandler's NLP trainers. If you come and train with me, you get certified with the Society of NLP. All of these things is because I decided to keep growing and keep living. So and if I can do it, and I do want to say this, I am not any more intelligent than you. Probably you're probably much more intelligent than me. I used to mitch off school all the time, and now I do love words. I do love language. That is my passion. I love words, but if I can do it, and I felt at rock bottom, and I felt like scum. I felt so worthless. I felt so unlovable. I felt I was going to be alone for the rest of my life. I'd gone through a divorce. I was alone. I felt ugly, unworthy, stupid. I felt such a failure. And I had done actually up to that point. It was all a mask. It was all a front. It was all pretending that I was okay. It was all living from the neck up and not allowing myself to feel anything, just getting on with things. Very Irish way. You don't go there. You'll just get yourself too emotional. My mother would be telling me, no, don't go there. You'll work yourself up into a tizzy. Just get on with things. And that's what I did. And it'll only get you so far. And that's why every day I have men and women on my couch. I know that sounds so wrong. and they're suffering from burnout, their breakdown, because they've tried, and tried does not work. Try implies failure to your subconscious mind. Get rid of that word. Okay. They've tried through willpower to force themselves on. Doesn't work. So all of this is about expansion. So your subconscious is going to keep attempting to pull you back into familiar. And it's not because you're weak. It's not because you're stupid. It's not because you're broken. It's because familiarity feels safer than expansion. Simple. That's the key, right? So what do we do about it? So I want to show you how fast this can happen. Do you want to see how fast this can happen? Do you want to experience it with me? What I want you to do is, I want you to think of something right now that's been kind of mildly irritating you. Something that's been irritating you. Not something majorly overwhelming, just something annoying. Think of something. Bring something to mind. Something that's a bit annoying. And as you think about this, I want you to notice your breathing. As you think about this annoying, irritating thing, notice how you breathe. Bring this annoying, irritating thing to mind. Notice how you breathe. Notice how your shoulders feel. Are they loose or are they tense? Notice how your shoulders feel as you think about this irritating thing. Notice your jaw. How does your jaw feel as you think about this thing, right? Notice the tone of voice in your head. How do you speak to yourself as you think of this irritating thing? Got it? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to change one of these things. Change one of these things. So, for example, if your shoulders are tense, relax them. Lift your chest higher, lift your head up, stretch out your jaw, slow down your breathing, right? Change the words in your head. Say them in a different lilt, in a different voice, in a different way. Change the words from this is annoying to, I'm in control here. I'm in control here. Give this a go. Say, instead of, oh, that's so irritating, or this is annoying, say, I'm in total control here. Take a deep breath. Move your body into a different position. Now feel the difference. Give me a 10 in the chat if you feel any difference whatsoever. Just put a yes in the chat to tell me that you feel a difference. Yes. Even if it's 1 degree, 1 degree. You lighter? Yes. Yes. Right? So, and again, this isn't just positive thinking. This is state control. This is NLP. This is self-leadership. And this is why people who master all of this stop being at the mercy of their moods, of their triggers, of their patterns, right? Okay. Ooh, chocolate biscuits look good. So, okay, so let's move to the next slide. So now here's where a lot of people get confused about this. They think that change happens by insight alone. People think that, oh, I know something. People often say this to me. People say this to me all the time. They say, oh, yeah, I know this stuff. I've done a course on it. Oh, yeah, I've done loads of the self-development. I know it. Yeah, I know it. I've done an NLP training. But they don't know it. Really, let's be honest. If you've just heard something, do you really know it? Knowledge is embodiment. Knowledge is using it. Like if I told you that the next thing that you put into your mouth, like you went to drink a cup of tea, and if I told you that tea was poisonous and would kill you, would you drink it? No. Right? Because that's wisdom. That's intelligence. That's wisdom. You'd kind of go, okay, that's real knowledge. You would act on it. But hearing something, having heard something before isn't knowledge. So a lot of people say they know stuff. But change doesn't happen just by having heard something. Right? It doesn't also happen even by discipline or even by trying harder. If that worked, if all of this worked, you'd already be doing it. You'd be done. You'd have done it. Because willpower, as I said, alone doesn't work. But what I've discovered is through experience, through training, through rebuilding my whole life, I've learned this, that lasting change only happens when 3 things shift together. It's the together. It's your nervous system, your subconscious, right? This is something that I talk about all the time. I'm doing a program at the moment, Open to Receive. It's all about learning how to feel safe in receiving. Your nervous system has to be aligned. Your language, how you communicate with yourself, how you communicate with others, and your identity, who you believe you are. So important. Only when you have those 3 things working together will things start to really shift. If you work on one only, which is what a lot of people do, the other ones will pull you back. Right? It doesn't matter how much you learn about language if you haven't worked on your identity. Right? If your subconscious is still trying to keep you safe all the time in an old program. So that's why I built this work in the way I did. Okay. So as a training your system to feel safe at a higher level of success, training your language to support you instead of undermining you, right? Training your identity to hold what you say you actually want. Okay, it's structural. It's structural. So I want to go through it really, really fast. So my master framework, this is kind of the whole system that I based around my first book, The Blackbelt Mastermind, Master. And I used an acronym. Okay. I know it's a hip, cool, trendy thing to do, but I did do it in a particular way that actually is actually everything that I actually did. How I changed my mind, my life, and then how I teach it to others. And the framework is master, masterful awareness, attitude, strength, and tenacity equal results. And this system exists because this is the order that life actually works in. Masterful awareness is always key. Seeing your patterns as they happen in real time, not later when all the damage is done, right? Your attitude. Most people break down at attitude. They kind of go, oh yeah, like you've heard the quotes like your mind only works when it's your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. You've got to have the right attitude to this. You've got to open up to being wrong. You've got to allow yourself to be wrong about everything that you think you know, because when you are wrong, it's oh so right. It's one of my favorite quotes that I made up. Okay, so it's oh so wrong to be right. The more that you are wrong, the more you're expanding your world, the more you're taking the blinkers off. Does that make sense? You're allowing more in. So most people try to defend their beliefs to the death. We love to be right. It's confirmation bias in action. We love to kind of say, I told you so. It's a favorite Irish words. I told you so. Oh, my husband is never affectionate to me. Watch when we go out to dinner. Watch, he won't even look at me. He won't touch me. He won't blah. Watch him, watch him, watch him, watch him. See. I told you. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? I told you so. We love to prove ourselves right, even about the things that keep us stuck. Who's done that? Who's done that? Who's proved themselves right? Who's shown their friends and given the evidence and looked for the evidence to prove themselves right and getting nodding heads here, yeah? Who to prove themselves right, even about the things that make us miserable. Because that's confirmation bias. So we got to know how to use confirmation bias to our advantage. So this is where attitude comes in. The right attitude, you've got to want to prove yourself wrong. You've got to want to prove yourself wrong, and then your world starts opening up. So we've got strength, emotional regulation, strength, the ability to stay steady, to stay responsive, to stay in responsibility, your ability to respond, responsibility, your ability to respond, instead of being reactive. I spent 36 years of my life in reactivity, in hurting people and saying nasty things to the people that I loved before they hurt me, in running away before somebody could leave me, because I was so afraid of rejection, so afraid of abandonment. So that is reactivity. That's a childlike program, and I teach you how to change this. Okay, so that you become responsive instead of reactive. The next step is tenacity. You staying present when things get uncomfortable. Can you hold it? Can you stay present instead of numbing, instead of avoiding, instead of collapsing, which is most people are scrolling on their phone. They can't sit still for a second on Netflix, doing something, avoiding, drinking, eating, spending, overworking, doing something instead of staying present, where the only place where you can change things because it feels uncomfortable. That's tenacity. Okay. And it also is planning for adversity. Most people are looking through rose-tinted glasses. They think, okay, today's the day. It's January 2026. I'm going to make it work. They go at it for a few weeks, and then something happens. Adversity, outside adversity happens, and they go, oh shoot, it's not going to work, and they give up because they hadn't planned for adversity. Tenacity is about planning for adversity. It's about practicality. I had 3 restaurants and a gift shop, 120 staff. You cannot do that and be fluffy. You've got to be practical as well. So this is where tenacity comes in. Equals, so masterful awareness, attitude, strength, and tenacity equals. Equals is all about balance. The word equals means balance. It means integration. It means sustainability. It means that success doesn't cost you yourself. It means that you don't kill yourself for your success. It means, is this balanced? Is this a balanced life? Have you got all the pieces of pie in your wheel of life nice and full? Are you nurturing your relationship, or is that suffering because of your workload? Are you ignoring your children because you're working so hard? Are you ignoring your health? you know, because so all of these things matter. It's balance, because without balance, it's not sustainable. And again, as I said, like every day I have different people, a lot of men, because men keep it quiet for so long, and then they burn out, and then they're exhausted, and then their marriage breaks up, and all these things happen because they've been keeping it closed, holding it in, and going and going and going and going and going. No balance until it's too late, until something bursts, right? And maybe even their heart, right? So that's balance. And the last one is results. Masterful awareness, attitude, strength, and tenacity equals results. So we want to create action that sticks, because your system can finally support it. So most people try to force results, but masters like you here build your capacity to hold. Your capacity. I'm talking about that into my program, Open to Receive. It's all about your ability to hold, your capacity to hold. That is the difference. So inside this framework, this is what I live by. I call it the Black Belt Sovereignty Codes. This is what I call it. These are the principles I live by. I realized that, I mean, this was literally what gave me my second life. I'm very open about sharing my story. It's in my book. But like, I was at rock bottom. I went home and I nearly took my life. And I remembered, and this quote saved my life: a black belt is simply a white belt who never gave up. And I decided to become the black belt of my mind, my heart, my body, my soul, and not just something that you tie around your waist. So I decided to live by my principles. And these are the principles that I train myself and I train you in. Presence. These are the principles that any real successful person has. And I don't mean successful as in just also, but not just financial. Okay, I'm talking about real success, that they're happy, that they're fulfilled, that they're leading a life that they're proud of, that they're content, that they have the balance at all the pieces of the pie, that they have the love, they're living, really living, right? So it's about these principles. It's about presence. It's about integrity. It's about intention. It's about your courage. It's about your awareness. It's about your allowing. It's about your energy, and it's about your mastery, right? And all of this isn't just inspirational fluff. These are your operating standards. These are my operating standards. They govern how, all of this governs how you speak to yourself, how you make decisions, how you respond under pressure, how you receive love, support, help, money, success. How do you receive these? When these codes are installed, then you're not relying on willpower anymore. That only gets you so far, right? We've covered that. And then you start to lead yourself naturally. So we're getting to it. So how are we doing for time? Okay, I want to talk to you very briefly about language. So, because this is where most people unknowingly sabotage themselves. Your subconscious takes how you speak very literally. Now, I'm an NLP trainer. I could talk to you for 10 years about language. Okay, so I just want to give you some examples. I just want to kind of touch the surface. It doesn't interpret intention or emotion, it follows instruction. Your brain follows instruction. So when you say, and actually, I want you to do a little example. I'm going to do it this way. I want you to think about something that you want to do, but you don't do. Think about something that you would like to do more of, but you don't actually do. You procrastinate over. Maybe like you want to go to the gym more often, but you don't do it. Or you want to lose weight, you want to walk more, but you don't do it. Or you want to drink more water, but you don't do it. Or you want to eat healthier, but you don't do it. You want to take more time out and you want to paint, but you don't do it. Think about something that you would like to do, but you don't do. Got it? Now, I want you to say the words in your head, and I want these words, and I want you to rate them from 1 to 10. 1 being that you're not motivated, 10 being you are motivated from these words. I want you to say, I should do blah, 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 whatever it is that you're thinking about. So, for example, if it's I should go to the gym, or I should drink more water, or I should eat healthier, or I should get out more, or I should socialize more, I should have more fun. I want you to say the word with I should. Notice from 1 to 10, I want you to give it a score. Give it a score. 1 being it's not motivating, 10 being it's highly motivating. Got a score? Now I want you to say the same sentence, but instead of should, I want you to say I need. I need, I should changes to I need. I need to da 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 da. Now give that one a score. Got it? Now I want you to do it a third way. I want you to say, I want to la 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 la. I want to go to the gym. I want to exercise more. I want to have more fun. And give this one a score. Now, notice which score is highest, most motivating. Give me in the chat 1, 2, or 3. Should, need, want. 1, 2, or 3. Put it in the chat 1, 2, or 3. Which one feels most inviting? Want. Yeah? Everyone's putting 3. Everyone's writing 3. Why? Because we are creatures who do what we want, not what we should. Always. Now, again, intellectually, who has ever heard this very rude saying, never should on yourself? Or anyone else for that matter, right? Never should on yourself. Or anyone else for that matter, right? Okay, so I think I made that up. But what I'm saying is, we know intellectually, a lot of us know that saying, should, what does that do? It's kind of like, don't tell me what I should do. It's going to push somebody away, isn't it? Including you. However, even though we know it, how often do we do that to ourselves? How often do we say, I should work harder, I should do this, I should do the other, and then we do the exact opposite. However, as a hypnotist, here's the top secret. Use the word want. This works in your marketing. This works with your clients. This works with your sales. This works with your children. This works with everybody, and mostly with yourself. Use the word want. Want is the most powerful word on the planet because we are creatures who do what we want, not what we should. If not, we would never do anything that's bad for us. We would never smoke. We would never drink. We would never do anything that is unhealthy because we'd be doing what we wanted, not what we should. But we do what we want, not what we should, right? Does that make sense? We do what we want. We smoke even though we know we shouldn't. We drink even though we know we shouldn't. We eat unhealthy even though we know we shouldn't. So we do things that we shouldn't because we are creatures that do what we want. So when it comes to how you speak to yourself and other people, use the word want. So notice the pressure that your body feels under when you say, I want. I want to feels good. And notice how it feels when you say, I should. Give this one a go. When you say, I hope to. How do you feel when you say, I hope to? How does that feel? I hope to. I hope to. Oh, I hope I will. I hope I will. Is that persuasive language? Is that convincing? Is that convincing? May not happen. Doesn't feel very convincing to you. And if you were using that from a persuasive point of view to anybody else, would that be convincing? No. Okay. There's something that I want to say. Certainty sells in business, in life, in emotions, in relationships. Certainty sells. Certainty sells. Expectancy sells. Expect and see. Expectancy. You want to be certain. You want to be certain when you speak to your mind. So instead of I hope, say I am. Most powerful words around your identity. I am. I'm doing that. And try. The word try, unless you want somebody to fail at something, you don't want them to do something, get rid of the word try. Try implies failure directly to your mind, causes your mind to hesitate and to stop and not do. It's not doing, it's trying. So notice what happens when you instead shift to words like I decide to, instead of I hope to, I choose to, I move to, I am doing la 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 la. Feel the difference? Do you feel the difference in this? Right? So, and that's not just somatics. It's you installing authority of your brain. It's you taking back the control. Most people, and I think this was the biggest thing that I realized was I always thought that my mind was in control of me. And people say it all the time. We say it all the time. We say, oh, I can't stop this. I can't change this. This is just the way I am. Oh, I can't change my thoughts. I can't change this way. I can't change these thinking. It's not true. It's a lie. When you realize that this is a wonderful computer, but you are something so much more powerful. You were the one, the pilot of it. You were the one that puts in the, what's the word I'm looking for? You're the the one that creates it. What's the word I'm looking for? Da 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 the programmer. Yeah, you're the coder. Yeah, that's what the word I was looking for. Yeah, you're the coder, you're the programmer, right? So this is why communication, how you speak to yourself, especially your internal communication, will determine your confidence, determine your leadership, and determine your results. So I want to anchor this in. Think of a moment when you felt really clear, confident, and decisive. Think of a moment when you felt really decisive. And I don't mean euphoric. I don't mean like, I mean more grounded, just certain, certainty, certain. Okay. And I want you to recall kind of where you feel this. I want you to bring it back to mind, this moment when you felt clear and confident and decisive. Think of a moment when you felt clear, confident, and decisive. And notice where you feel it in your body. Notice where you feel this confidence in your body. Now, I want you can use a simple anchor, which is your thumb and your forefinger together. Use your thumb and your forefinger together and press them together. Take a breath and feel into this feeling of confidence. Feel into this feeling of confidence. And lock this feeling of confidence in. Lock this feeling of confidence in. And now I want you to imagine a situation, maybe, tomorrow, the next day, another week, where you previously would have felt a little bit uncertain of, but I want you to use your thumb and your forefinger and bring this confident feeling into your body again. Stay in this confident feeling and imagine doing this thing that you previously would have been underconfident doing. Do it with this confidence. Do it with this confidence now. Feel this confidence. Feel this confidence. Press your thumb and your forefinger together and feel this confidence all the way through your body. And this is anchoring. This is anchoring it in. Imagine doing this again a week later with this confidence. Double this confidence. Imagine you could turn up the dial, press your fingers a little bit harder together and feel it 3 times as strong now. Notice this feeling, how this feeling is growing. Imagine it's a month, a year from now, and you've done this. You're thinking back on all the times that you've done this with this confident feeling. Notice how many times you've done this with this confident feeling. Notice how this feeling has grown. Notice how this feeling has grown even more throughout your body, where it's moved to, how it changes how you feel. Notice the difference in your body right now. Notice the difference, what's different about you. Notice what is different about you right now than it was a year ago, before you have done this 100, 1,000 times with this confidence. And this is how your nervous system learns. This is how you integrate it. This is how state becomes accessible for you, with intention, with repetition, with training, with programming. Right? You can open your eyes if your eyes were closed. Now, what I want you to do is this. I want to ask you something important. If you don't train this muscle, this skill, how is this? How does it feel? How does it feel now? Tell me. What feels different in your body now? Put it in the chat. What feels different in your body now after doing that mini exercise? Tell me what feels different in your body now. Give me a yes. Tell me you feel different. Who feels different now? What's shifted? What's changed? Who feels more confident? I am the coder. I feel stronger. What else do you feel? When you think about this thing that previously would have done underconfidently now, how does it feel? How does it feel now? Feel more expansive, more powerful, more optimistic, right? Right? So do you want to learn how to do more of this? Do you want to know how to keep this going? Got goosebumps. I'm ready. Ready. Got goosebumps. She's ready. Yeah. We do it live in the house. We do it live in the room, live transformation. You're ready to go. Let's rock and roll. So, who wants to feel more of this? You want to feel more of this, right? You want to amplify this feeling. You want to train this muscle so that you get to do this more and more, right? So you can allow more in, so you can have more money, so you can have more fun, so you can have more joy, so you can have more love, so you can keep growing and keep expanding, right? So, who's a yes? Give me a yes. Is this good? Has this been valuable? Has this been valuable so far? Hearts, I love this. I love this. So, what I want you to know is this: if you keep relying on willpower, I sure want to have more. Yeah. So, if you keep pushing through resistance, right? Where will you be this time next year? Where will you be instead this time next year? The same goals, the same patterns, the same internal brakes slowing you down to keep you safe, right? Awareness without training always leads back to familiarity. Remember, training is what creates change. So imagine moving through life with more calm certainty, with more confidence, with more clean decisions, with more the ability to receive without feeling guilty. Confidence doesn't, with confidence that you can hold, even when there's pressure. This is not a personality thing. This is conditioning. This is conditioning, right? This is about conditioning that can be trained. So, if this hour has made sense to you, if this past hour that we spent together has made sense, give me a yes. Put a yes in the chat if this conversation has made sense. If you've got value out of this conversation, if you've recognized yourself, if you've recognized those patterns, if you've felt even a tiny internal shift in this 60 minutes with me, right? Yes, 100%. Yeah. Okay, then you already know something important. You already know something, right? Recognize patterns. Yeah, definitely, right? You know that information on its own isn't the answer. You know this. You know this deep down. This is why people get stuck in just learning stuff. Like it's about integration. It's about integration, not just information. So, mastery is not just about what you know, it's about repetition, it's about integrity, it's about self leadership, it's about saying you want something and actually, be careful of what you wish for. Say you want it and actually following through. Do you really want it? If you really, really want it, if this work is calling to you, then trust it. If you want to expand and not contract, if you want to live a life where you feel safe instead of being always afraid, so this next level requires a trained system. So this is what it requires. And so that's why I've created two things that support this process. And this is the next step for you. So I've created a live day, a live in-person day, Master Your Mind Live on the 7th of February. Who's coming? I know some of you already booked in to come. This is a full day with me in the room in Dublin, in person, full in-person immersion where we're going to actually install this at an identity level. We're going to do this in the room, not just me talking. We're going to do this stuff. We're going to rewire. We're going to do this deep work. You're going to also get a program called Sovereignty, which is it's a 5 parts, actually a 6-part masterclass to get to keep and listen to, which is 6, 7, 8 hours of me If you want to listen to me and binge watch or listen to me when you're out walking the dog, a great way, by the way. I mean, everything that I talk about, I'm using NLP language. So it's all going in subconsciously. It's done in a particular way so that, like, for example, I would never use the word should. I would never should on you. Right? Because I know how to use language effectively so that it implants into your brain so you get the most from this. So these lessons are integrated into you, not just intellectually, not just in your conscious, which is 7%. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the 93% that changes their lives, that changes how you lead yourself, that changes how you show up, that changes your results in your life. So these two programs, both of these programs, right, are available for you right now. Self-sovereignty was €297. The mastermind in-person day with me live in Dublin. It's a full day with me and probably 70, 100 other people in the room. So great networking, great collaboration is and includes your meal, includes your food, etc. That's actually the ticket is on sale for €247. Now you get both of these today for €97. It's a no-brainer, right? I mean, it couldn't do better than that. It's basically covering your food. So use this QR code, scan it now. I'm going to give a little extra gift to those of you. The first 5 that scan first will get a one-to-one session with me as well after the Master Your Mind Day to integrate this even deeper. So who wants to have a full day with me and a bunch of like-minded people in person on this stuff to integrate this? A 6-part program to get to keep forever, which I go into all of this much deeper, called sovereignty. And you also, for the first 5, who scanned first? Let me know who scanned first. Because the first 5 are going to get a one-to-one. My one-to-ones generally, I mean, realistically, they're €500. I do sometimes do a special offer, might give somebody 297 or something like that for a one-to-one, but generally it's €500 for a one-to-one. So you get all of this for €97 today. So who has scanned first? Who has done it? Who's in? Who's scanned? And who is in for the Master Your Mind Day? Who's joining us on the most incredible day? Let me know. Have you done it? Have you done it? I'll give it a moment. Please let me know. I want to know who's in first. Catherine, Mina, I know you're coming. Karina, Iniad of God, are you coming? Susie, I know you're coming. Maria, I know you're coming. Sue, Lisa, have you got your ticket? Right? Remember, when you lead your mind, everything else starts to follow. Everything else starts to follow. Want to get you get my book, by the way, on the day. You don't even have to buy it. You get it. You get it for free as part of the Master Your Mind Day. I won't be selling it. You'll be gifted it. You'll be gifted it. Booked in last week and looking forward to it already. Okay, then you've got it. You'll get it at the Master Your Mind Day. It's part of the day. So you everybody on the day will have my book in front of them as well. So yay, you get that also. It's a good deal, isn't it? Pretty good deal. So guys, for you guys watching the recording as well, I will you will have the QR code to book. If anybody doesn't have the QR code, or sorry, can't scan that, I'm actually going to put it also for people here into the chat here as well on Zoom, the link, so you can get it that way. So thank you for everybody who's watched this. If you're watching this on the recording, you're welcome to email me at info@the-blackbelt-mastermind. Let's make it happen. I look forward to you mastering your mind, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Bye for now. And I'm going to stop this recording.